Hey guys, welcome to another career mode budgets video here for FIFA 19. Earlier on today you will have seen the Premier League video. Do check the channel page for that if you missed it. This footage of course brought to you by the capture event that was held in Berlin last week. Massive thank you to EA for flying myself and almost 200 other game changers out to the venue to film this footage for you. I've a number of videos coming your way over the next few days from said capture event, whether they be career mode or ultimate team based, the majority of which are career mode. Do make sure that you're subscribed to the channel to make sure that you don't miss out on any of that content. We've Champions League run-throughs with Liverpool, we've a full one season all or nothing showdown with Manchester City. I've collaborations with other career mode YouTubers and, as we say, with some ultimate team stuff as well. But we shall crack on here with the expectations for the sides in La Liga this upcoming season. Now, obviously, I know less about La Liga than I do the Premier League. As such, this video will probably be quite substantially shorter than the Premier League video, which I'm sure those of you that don't necessarily enjoy my waffling or my in-depth look at stuff are pleased about. But let's stop that waffling, shall we? Athletic Club, medium expectations for domestic and continental success. Brand exposure also set to medium. They had a very poor season last year. 16th place is where Athletic Bilbao finished last year, not where the club should be. High financial expectations, critical youth development. Of course, in real life, they have a transfer policy, whereas they only sign players from the Basque region of Spain and France. So, interesting to see if you guys will take up that too with your series. I may consider Bilbao as a potential option for a series. Of course, La Liga now has every stadium in the game on FIFA 19. There's a new licensing package last year with regards to the presentation and the kind of TV package, but this year we've all the grounds as well. So if you were thinking about doing a La Liga save, now is the time to do it. We move on from Athletic Club to Atleti. Without the H, it's Atletico Madrid. They're obviously one of the larger sides in the division, and as such have one of the larger budgets in the division, not comparable to Premier League budgets, it has to be said, but as we mentioned in the Premier League video, inflation is a case, or is the case in England with regards to all of the TV money, etc. Other nations around the globe aren't quite so well off in that regard. So 60 million is your budget at Atleti. Critical success domestically, continentally, and brand exposure-wise, Atleti have to be winning trophies, whether that be challenging for the La Liga title, as they have done basically every season for the past few, challenging for the Copa del Rey, or challenging for the Champions League and or Europa League, depending on which one you qualify for. They will be in the Champions League this first season, thanks to finishing second in La Liga last year, ahead of City rivals Real. But moving on from Atleti, we have our first of a number of tiny budgets here in La Liga. It's Leganés. Basically, you've got no money to do anything, but you've got no expectations to do anything either. And that is the case with a number of the smaller sides in the other European leagues. There are higher expectations in the Premier League than elsewhere. But as you can see, Leganés with just a £3.7 million budget and nothing higher than a low expectation anywhere across the board. You're going to take on Leganés, be a challenge, but one that you will probably get away with doing, or probably get away with failing initially when you first take it up. And a team that will also be expecting not much of you, but slightly more than Leganés, is Deportivo Alavés. You can see low across the board other than continental success, and you've got a whopping extra £100,000 at Alavés. They finished 14th last year. You'd like to improve on that, I would have thought, if you take on the challenge at Depor, but it's not going to be easy. It should, however, be easy at the next club. You've one hell of a squad and a slightly large transfer budget as well of £165 million is FC Barcelona. Obviously, the first of the two main powerhouses in Spanish football. £165 million is available to Barcelona to spend. You've already got Felipe Coutinho to start the season this time, rather than having to have him transferred in as of January last season. And of course, you were able to hold on to Ousmane Dembele despite the heavy links to Arsenal. Lionel Messi is still at the club, understandably. Luis Suarez is still at the club. Gerard Piqué, not as good this year as he has been in previous. This might be the year where you need to replace Gerard Piqué in the Barcelona backline. Samuel Umtiti, however, is 87 rated this year and looks incredible. So defensively, you should still be pretty solid. You can spend a massive chunk of that 165 mil on a centre-back replacement for Piqué, and then you're pretty much set. You might want to consider a right-back, although Nelson Semedo and Sergio Roberto should be able to do the job for you, although you might want to utilise Sergio Roberto in the centre of midfield. It depends on your play style. I would use Sergio Roberto in the centre of midfield, but that's just my personal playstyle. Domestic success, continental and brand exposure all set to critical. Understandably, high youth development at Barca would expect it to be critical considering the reputation they have for creating their own talent. Hello Xavi, how are you? Hello Messi, how are you? Iniesta, etc, etc. The list quite literally goes on and on and on and on and on. Financial set to very low, that's not a shock. Barcelona will want you to win everything, and to be fair, if you're playing with Barcelona, you should be winning everything. Now we move from Barcelona to Madrid, but not the Madrid. It's Getafe, the third largest side in the league from Madrid. Real Madrid being the biggest, Atleti second, despite the fact that they finished above Real last year. Getafe actually finished up in 8th last season, so a decent year for them. Only 3 points behind Sevilla, so they do have the capability to be quite a decent side. £4.7 million is all you have to spend, though. So as is the case, as we mentioned, with a number of sides in La Liga, you are going to have to concentrate on youth or being very, very frugal with your transfer budget. And you will have to be even more so with Sporting Girona. It's £3.4 million available for them. Low everywhere apart from continental success, the same as Deportivo Alaves. And to be fair, they finished 10th last year as well. So another side that kind of batting above their average, to be completely honest, with regards to the size of the club and the quality of the squad. A challenge if you want to take it on. There are a number of small sides in La Liga that would be well worth a challenge if you wanted to try and take it to the top 3. Similar to Serie A and Juventus and the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. A lot of smaller sides and one hell of a road to glory if you can actually put it off long term. Now we've seen the second side in Madrid with Atleti. It's now time for the second side in Valencia. It's Levante. You can tell that they're from the same city because they both share the bat symbol at the top of their badge. The same expectations as a number of previous sides. Low across the board, but very low continental. £7.2 million available to you. Levante down in 15th last year, although in recent seasons they have been known to occasionally flirt with the European spots. So perhaps you might want to attempt to do that yourself in season number 1 at Levante. Time we'll have to wait and see. But we move there to the lowest transfer budget so far at Rayo Valladolid of £2.7 million, although slightly higher expectations with medium financial and medium youth development. And we move from there to a side that also haven't got any money either. Rayo Vallecano, £2.9 million, a whopping 200k more than Vallecano. Medium expectations for brand exposure, financial and youth development, low everywhere else. Somewhere where you should be finishing higher though, with another small transfer budget at 10.3 is Celta Vigo, 13th in the league last year. Although with a player like Iago Aspas leading the line, you should be doing a decent job at Celta Vigo. Medium expectations everywhere other than continental success, which is set to low. So you're not going to need to worry about that for season 1 at the very least. But you should challenge really with Celta Vigo for the Europa League spots. At least that's my personal opinion. They're a decent side and should do well for you should you be half decent at the game, which I know almost everybody that watches my videos is. So best of luck if Celta are your team. Also best of luck if you want to try and take on Barcelona in their own city on their home turf. Espanyol, the second largest side in the city, and medium across the board, very low continental success, £9.1 million budget for them. And very similar, in fact identical expectations for Real Betis as well. They finished a lofty 6th last year, and well, that's at least in recent years where they kind of should be. I seem to remember Real Betis finishing around about the European spots numerous times the past few seasons, so you should challenge with them, you really should. And a team you really will do well with are Real Madrid. As are the expectations at Barcelona, you will be expected to win every single competition you're involved in. One of the world's best squads, minus Cristiano Ronaldo now, of course, and one of the game's highest transfer budgets at £165 million. Who will you buy to replace Cristiano? Is it a case of moving Bale to striker and maybe buying another winger, perhaps Mbappe? He might be unavailable first season, though, having had his loan to PSG confirmed this current season. Maybe you'll go for the player that Real Madrid in the end decided not to go for and try and sign someone like Eden Hazard. Or maybe someone that used to play for Atleti as in the case of, or in the shape of Sergio Aguero maybe. Bring him back to Spain, to Madrid, albeit the white side rather than the red and white side, and maybe kind of snake Atleti the same way that Thibaut Courtois did. But let's leave that discussion for another day, shall we? And let's move on from Real Madrid to our next team, Real Sociedad. A disappointing year for them last year, 12th in the La Liga table, 13.8 million available to you, medium across the board other than low continental expectations. Having lost Carlos Vela, of course, to LAFC, the squad is weaker and will need your additional touch, but top half should be your aim at Real Sociedad, in my personal opinion. And just staying up should be your target if you're going to take over at Eibar. £4.7 million budget, medium financial expectation, low or very low everywhere else. Just staying up is an achievement for them, in my opinion, as is going to be the case for Huesca as well, who are our next team that we look at. If you haven't seen the goal that they scored in real life the other day, check it out. Puskás Award winning entry, at least, if not winner, at some point later on in the year. Absolute cracker. But a £1.8 million transfer budget is not going to get you anywhere at all, I'm afraid. Challenge to stay up, IMO. However, at Sevilla, you should be challenging pretty much everywhere, really. High expectations across the board, other than critical on the financial side of things. They finished 7th last year, which is disappointing for them. So they will want to improve. Obviously, Unai Emery won 3 straight Europa Leagues with Sevilla, and then got the move to PSG, and has since now found himself at Arsenal. Good squad, Sevilla. A side that I contemplated using last year, in the end didn't. A side that I will most certainly contemplate using again this year, and probably will at some point through the FIFA19 cycle. £30 million available to you. It's going to be difficult to challenge for Season 1, but you should finish top 4, and should I take them on, I would like to finish top 4 as well. Let me know what you think Sevilla can do in Season 1, or, of course, if you're going to use them, do you think that you could perhaps win the title within 2 years? Let me know. And another side, penultimately, that could also challenge for the title within 2 years, and another side that I might consider doing a series with at some point throughout the course of FIFA 19 is Valencia. 4th last year in La Liga, just 3 points away from Real Madrid, so a good season. Decent sized budget as well at £58 million. High expectations domestically and brand exposure wise. Medium continentally and youth development. So you could concentrate on La Liga at least Season 1 and try and finish in the top 4 again, if not perhaps challenge for the title. That would be a far stretch in year 1, but certainly attainable in year 2. Now, Villarreal are the final side that we look at here, and they too should be challenging Season 2 for top 4 and maybe even the title, because it's FIFA and you kind of can in year 2. Now, if you think Villarreal can do it as well, then let me know in the comment section down below. But that is going to bring the La Liga side, or La Liga budgets video, to a close. Do drop the video a like if you enjoyed, past tense. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any further content. Bundesliga and Serie A budgets to follow later today. Probably tomorrow, episode 1 of the Manchester City All or Nothing career mode, and then a Liverpool Champions League run through following in the coming days as well. But for now, thank you very much for watching, guys. Really appreciate all the support on the channel. Do make sure you're subscribed if you aren't already, and I'll see you next time.